pattern?
Amika, the best way to do that is to always contextualize the president's behavior. And I'll give you a clear example. It was just less than 2 months ago that a bipartisan group of Congress, right, four Republicans and the rest of the Democratic Party all voted to say that this president was a racist. And so if an entire House of Congress has said this president does not view all men and all women equally, this president has racial animus towards particular groups of people, any and everything he does should be viewed in that context. And that's how we don't allow him to distract us. But I also think it's important as a journalism professor, as an American citizen, that we always are careful with our language. It's not just the conversations about the president's a racist, the president's a liar, but even our fast and loose terms about violence, right? It's when someone says, oh, I was raped by the IRS or I was crucified by that exam. We use violent terms to describe what are inconveniences in life. And in that same way, we sort of degrade the amount of violence and death that occurs in this country. So whether it's lynching or rape or crucifixion, these are all terms that should only be used to describe those specific acts, not as metaphors for political, personal, or financial inconvenience.
And Eddie, Joe Biden used the same term during the 1998 Clinton impeachment process. He said it was a partisan lynching. He came out and apologized for that yesterday, said it wasn't the right word to use. I'm sorry about that. Then went after President Trump's use of it. I want to go back to that soundbite that we played coming in where Lindsey Graham of South Carolina said this is a lynching in every sense. Yeah. In other words, it's not just the metaphor. He said this is a lynching in every sense. You don't have to be from South Carolina to understand the history, but it certainly is more front and center than it is in some other places.
I wonder which side of the lynching is he talking about. Right. That's what I'm thinking about, since he's from South Carolina. Who was doing what and who was receiving what? And look, in the context of this, just a few days ago, the state of Mississippi had to put up a bulletproof memorial of Emmett Till, who was lynched. Because the memorial in Glendora, Mississippi was being shot up every day. John Cheney's memorial, constantly, gravesite constantly defamed, right? Constantly, attacked, graffitied, and the like. Our country is profoundly sick when it comes to the issue of race. And when we see politicians, whether deliberately or not, invoking that history for political ends and political purposes, it deepens our illness. It fundamentally deepens our sickness. So we need to dismiss it. We need to decry it. We need to denounce it and understand Donald Trump for who he is.
It's also a gauge. The worse racism that he projects, the worse things must be for him.
And Mika, the last thing I would say is that at a deep personal level, I am sick and tired of the country playing fast and loose with our dead. We have to do more. And so I invite everybody to go down to Montgomery and visit the lynching memorial to see what we have done.
Coming up, we'll get Claire's take.